Little Darth Vader, he's going to come over to those rebels. He's going to kill the rebels. But wait, they have reinforcements that just... Thanks.
Hello everyone and welcome to The Weekender, your guide to the latest gaming's goings on. I am joined by Justin.
Hello.
By Ben up on the screen.
Hello.
And I am of course Sam, and I'm sitting in Warren's chair. I get the captain's chair again.
How's it feel?
Kind of squashed.
Is there a dent in it? Does it have the butt imprint?
Yeah, I best not to speculate, but it does mean I get all the buttons again.
Yes. Yes. Hey, don't press that button yet.
So, enough of me playing around with the buttons. Actually, no, more buttons. More buttons. Okay.
Okay, I know some people out there have just seen me facepalm. I am resisting planting my face into the table.
I like the buttons. Okay, without any further ado, let's get on with the show.
All right.
First thing to start off with.
Well, if I may kick off for this one, because this is kind of my spiel.
Okay. I was going to throw it to you. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to have to engage the QVC voice for a minute. So, everybody, this is a bit of a heads up. Next week is Infinity Week here on Beasts of War, and we have 6 amazing prizes up for grabs. We have 3 Dog Warrior boxes for those of you taking out the Ariadne to battle. We have 3 of the beautiful post-human boxes for those of you fighting with the Alaf. And just get your comments in on any and all of the Infinity content next week on beastsofwar.com, YouTube, or Facebook for your chance to win. I am too good at that.
You're getting used to that, QVC. All you need to finish it with is, and a cuddly toy at the end.
And for the low price of $99.95, tell them what they could win, Johnny.
Yeah, well, so there is going to be a lot of awesome Infinity content going on over the next week. Be sure to come on over to beastsofwar.com and check it out.
Now, unfortunately, at the moment we're embargoed, so we can't tell you until next week.
Yeah, you have to wait. You have to wait for it to come on board. Also, in the past week, we've had the the Kursk articles.
Yes,
sorry, I got the names mixed up there. We got the Kursk article series has been going on, and you guys got to sit down with Risky for a live stream.
Yeah. We sat down. The whole idea was we just wanted to sit down and engage with everybody in the community and just have a good sit down chinwag. You know, really just get those anoraks on and just pull them strangling tight for a laugh. That, and I could sit and listen to Jim and John talk about history for hours upon hours on end. I don't know. There's something just soothing. It's kind of like an ASMR video.
Jim really knows his stuff.
He really does.
Yeah.
He really does. That, and I believe there are still more parts to that article series to come out. So if you see them on the site, check them out. And if you haven't seen any of them yet, make sure go back, jump in, give a comment. Jim is really active in the comments on those.
Yeah.
So if you have points to make or questions, he is more than happy to jump in and give you guys a hand.
We are really lucky to have Jim as our historical editor. The effort he puts into those article series is astounding. Yeah. So please do go and check them out. They're wonderful.
Yeah, historical editor, and is never cheery about actually passing out kudos for their due whenever he actually collaborates with people, which I really respect.
Yeah. Now, we have one especially exciting announcement. Coming up at the end of this episode, it's the moment many have been waiting for.
Yes.
We're going to be announcing the UK Games Expo prize winners.
Yes.
Da, 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 da.
So, in toto, we have about 44 prizes to give away. We will also be announcing the winner of the Hobby God bag from Hobby Night Live as well.
Yeah.
So, if you are hoping to win yourself some hobby goodness and some shiny new toys, stay tuned to the end of the show, because we'll probably have to take about a half hour to read through the massive list that we have.
Yeah, there's loads of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, favorite prizes for me is the huge Lightseekers bundle that we're giving away.
Yeah.
You've also got the massive, ginormous, insane TT Combat bundle that's in there as well. It's just tons of cool stuff.
Yeah. For me, I've had my eye on that signed Ian Livingstone book.
No, that's being posted. I picked the winner earlier.
I know. I've had my eye on it for a while.
And
when it comes to just the pages may seem a little fondled. Yeah, I folded some of the corners, spine.
No! You don't do that to books.
Books are meant to be read.
They're meant
Right.
to be read, but not destroyed. Oh.
Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah.
I also think it's enough of Warren having fun on his holiday. So, now we've got through the updates, I say we grab Warren, bring him in, and make him do a Warren Meets Matt.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Warren Meets Matt. May I introduce to you, Holiday Warren.
Yeah! I am totally on vacation, so I'm here, but I'm not here.
He's here in spirit.
How you doing, big man? Well, hello, almost on holiday, Warren. You're doing a great job, man. Enjoy that drink, Holiday Warren, because you totally deserve it. Oh, don't you worry about it. I will. Cheers.
Yep.
Onto the mat.
Yeah, we got a suitably holiday-themed mat here for you.
This looks like a lovely vacation spot.
It's a swamp.
It's a swamp.
It's kind of like a mangrove swamp.
Right, so this is the Deep Cut Studio
Tropical swamp.
Tropical Swamp. Now,
You get some sun.
this is particularly interesting for us because we're hoping to get some more Blood and Plunder filming in the can very soon. Looking forward to that.
Really looking forward to that.
So let's have a look at some of the details of it. A tropical swamp, it can't be an easy thing to particularly replicate. Yeah, it's
Yeah. It's a constantly changing environment.
It is. It is. It certainly has that Pirates of the Caribbean kind of a feel to
Yeah,
it. I think it's
On
cool
Stranger
from that
Tides, are you
perspective.
thinking?
Yeah. Any of that kind of if more inland Caribbean-y kind of
Yeah. When you're exploring going into the island in search of the hidden treasure.
Yes. So it's looking at the actual textures themselves. There's a beautiful resolution to it. So you can see the individual blades of grass, nice tall grasses
When
here.
you're looking into the water, you get a real sense of depth.
Yep. Before I get to the water, over here you can actually see some of the individual leaves and things. It then comes down to the more kind of like dry. I don't know. I don't want to call it coral, but it's almost like a kind of like a corally kind of effect. Over here you can start to pick out individual rocks. Here especially, I kind of like this. This is my favorite wee bit in the whole mat, actually, there. And then down into that nice, almost like a crystal clear blue that is kind of shimmering over the top of it. And that's what gives it that sense of heat.
Motion.
Heat.
Yes.
You get that sense of the of it being like a Caribbean or
The
something.
rippling
coming off
water
that.
effects of the light reflecting off it.
Yes, there is some caustics type effects built into it. I really
For
like
me,
it.
It's the transition to the deeper blue, because that's giving you sort of a depth to the actual look of it. You're actually looking at it and you can tell, oh, it's getting deeper there, oh, it's shallower here.
Yeah,
You know what You know how much I love pirates.
we do know how much you love pirates.
I would love to use this for a pirate game, but funnily enough, it's not a pirate game that my mind goes to first. It would actually be Malifaux. I would love to use this for like the bayou, for the gremlins.
Yeah, that could
Just
kind of work.
stick some sort of shantytown houses in there.
Yeah, they've got a bit of that South Louisiana thing going on.
Yeah, some nice overgrown swamp grass and trees. You could have a pretty good setup here with some planks and walkways.
Yeah.
See, I would use it for Cutlass, which
Yeah.
is the Black Scorpion game that we reviewed
Yeah.
years ago.
Which is effectively pirates again.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's fantasy pirates.
yeah.
I would use it for bolt action.
Bolt yeah.
Pacific bolt action.
I can
You
see
could do that.
I think with some well-placed palm trees, you could get that Japanese island hopping kind of thing that was going on.
Well, there's nothing really on this that. Well, I suppose the blades of grass and stuff. I was just thinking, if you weren't too precious about it, you could actually do what James would do and actually go up the scale. So actually use this for a bit of naval engagement from island to island.
Maybe if you put some very overgrown pieces, you could go to Vietnam and do the Mekong Delta.
You could potentially do that. Yeah. So in that case, then I would go 15 mil and go with the Flames of War stuff and use it. I think it would work fine for 15 mil.
So the
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but when I can pick out individual leaves and stuff like that, the scale might be a little off for a naval.
Precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you're back from it and not really looking too closely at those details, this does feel like you're up a few thousand feet in the air. You're looking down. You can see like ships and stuff moving through here.
Yeah. If you had to pick a sci-fi game.
Oh, well, of course, 40k can fit into any situation.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a Cthulhu Kane novel that fits perfectly for this sort of region in one of the planets that he goes to. If I was going to pick a sci-fi game, I would nearly grab some Infinity stuff and grab some of the battle system stuff.
That would work well.
Infinity would work really well on this.
If you grab some of the battle systems outpost stuff,
yeah,
you can actually build it to actually fit on top of some of this, build yourself some walkways and stuff across because it's all modular.
Yep.
And then you could have like a research station in a delta.
I also thinking Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Rogue One. You have that kind of Paradise pilot. Now, it's a little bit more swampy than Paradise, but you could totally see Stormtroopers. Imagine the white Stormtroopers on this, man.
Yeah.
They would just pop.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome on something like this.
They'd only pop if they got a particularly bad tropical disease.
Which they could well pick up from this, because this one isn't wiped clean. Right. Okay. That is the
tropical swamps.
The tropical swamps from Deep Cut Studio.
Yes.
How did I do, Holiday Warren? That was an excellent Warren meets Matt. Holiday Warren approves.
Always good to see more stuff from the guys at Deep Cut.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what we can actually do with that, Matt. In fact, there's one thing I'm going to be doing later in the show that might be perfect for.
Oh, what's that?
I'm going to be interviewing James from the Drowned Earth.
Yes.
So that, I think, we're talking about getting him in soon, and I think that might be the perfect mat to build like an abandoned ruined city into.
Very cool.
It's half sunken.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that. That would actually make for a great drowned city. Shadow Sea would be another good one. That would work.
It would, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you've got me thinking now.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's always dangerous. Quick, time to distract me. Ben, it's time for the news. What's been happening this week, mate?
Okay, yeah, so the first thing we're going to be looking at is from the guys at Games Workshop. Now, obviously, they're releasing Soul Wars and all these new Nighthawk and Stormcast models and stuff like that for Age of Sigmar, but also they're looking back into the past and bringing back to the fore some of the old Warhammer Fantasy battle miniatures that maybe you'll remember. So in this one, they're going to be looking at the likes of the Tomb Kings, the Vampire Counts, Orcs and Goblins, and also the Ogre Kingdoms. Starting out with Cetra, who you'll see there, Cetra the Imperishable, who was one of the leaders for the Tomb Kings back in the day. Again, the model itself for Cetra stands up very, very well. I think it's just the horses, the skeletal horses, that don't quite work nowadays. I think they're a bit old, but other than that, I think Cetra's come out very, very nicely. And then you move on to seeing Queen Khalida as well, who I think is one of the best miniatures they ever did for the Tomb Kings range. Absolutely fantastic model. Love the mask and love the amount of detail they worked into there as well. We then move on to the likes of the Zacharias the Ever-Living, who some of the old Hammer fans will recognise as he Sentinel on his zombie dragon there.
Very cool. I remember him.
That zombie dragon is showing its age.
It definitely is. It's very much one of the old style sculpts where it's a big, huge, twisted style dragon that sort of stands up in one point effectively rather than being spread out like the new ones are. But yes, very cool. There's also Grom the Paunch, if you like your Orcs and Goblins. So once again, we've got a really cool looking old Hammer style model on the back there with those slightly dated walls, but otherwise looking very, very cool. And then there's also Gorbad Ironclaw, who was the Scourge, the terror of 7th and 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy. An absolutely fantastic model there, leaping forward upon his war boar. And then we finish things off with something that's a little bit of a favourite for the guys who love the Ogre Kingdoms. You've got Greasus Goldtooth there being pulled along by his cavalcade of Noblars as well, which I thought was a fantastic looking model and kind of looks back towards that dark comic feel that we all love about Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Now, of course, these are all part of the Made to Order series, so these are only going to be available for a very, very limited time. So if you want these, they're going to be going up this weekend, and they'll be going up for, I think it's about a week that they'll be on pre-order. So if you want to pick those up, you've got a chance to do it, and then they'll be gone back into the annals of history, and you'll have to go and wait and see what they come up with next for the Made to Order scheme as well. So yes, some very cool old school looking miniatures. If you like your Warhammer Fantasy Battles, got some excellent choices there to get stuck in with. And of course, maybe you could use them in Age of Sigmar as well. The aesthetics might not match quite as well, but I think they'd look pretty good. Especially something like Gorbad, for example. So,
Gorbad, I think, would probably fit very easily into Age of Sigmar.
Oh yeah.
With the Oryx, but maybe not so much Grom the Paunch.
Maybe not.
I don't know. You could get away with that.
No, I don't think so. Age of Sigmar doesn't quite have that same comedic feel that the old Warhammer Fantasy battles used to have.
If you have the right opponent, you can introduce it.
Yeah, but that's not intrinsic to the game. That's to the opponent.
Yeah.
And sure, that's a fun thing, but I don't think he quite matched them on saying, I love the model. It's one of my favourites, and I'm really happy to see it make a return, albeit in this limited run.
Yeah, I do like the way the wolves look on his actual chariot. I think they hold up pretty well.
Bring it up there a second.
Yeah, sure. Where are you, my little friend? There you are, my little friend.
Yeah.
When you look towards some of the newer styles of the wolves, like the Fenrisian ones and stuff like that, suddenly you start to see a lot more dynamism in the sculpts. But back in the day, I did, as you guys say, I loved those wolves. I thought they were fantastic. They were the kind of ones that were always used for dire wolves as well in your Vanguard Counts armies and things. But it's it shows its age, but it's still very cool indeed. So,
I don't know. I mean, it looks like a 90s cartoon villain to me. I can just imagine him going. Damn it! The Stonecaster tunnels have foiled my plan once more.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, for me, my personal favourite of that range has to be Greaser's Goldtooth. That was an old favourite of mine. It's just such a different model to anything else Warhammer did at the time and has done since.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've stopped getting misty-eyed about all those.
Do you feel old? You can get misty-eyed now. You've leveled up.
I just miss Warhammer Fantasy battles. Okay. Anyway, yes. On to the next one. Ben, Oathmark. What's going on there?
Yeah, so from an old fantasy game to a new one, Oathmark Battle for the Lost Age is going to be coming out very, very soon in the near future. But the guys at North Star were showing off some previews for some of the new plastic humans that they're doing for the range. Now they've done so far dwarves, orcs, not non-orcs, dwarves, goblins, and elves, and now they're going to be doing humans. And this was just a little preview showing off some of the different ways you can build up your human soldiers when you're getting down to the tabletop. So they've got a range of different weapon options, head options, and all that kind of thing like that. Options for you to build command aspects to your group as well, which I thought was very, very cool. So if you're into playing up your huge mass ranked battle games and stuff like that, you've got some new options coming on this way. And of course, if you want to get stuck into some skirmish games, you've also got some options there as well. But yeah, what North Star are doing with this range is looking absolutely fantastic. I love the way that they're working with their plastic kits, giving you loads of interesting options, a little bit like what they did when you looked at the Frostgrave ranges and stuff like that as well. So you can obviously do a little bit of mixing and matching between the two if you wanted to, because they're all sort of heroic 28mm. And some very cool stuff coming out from the guys at North Star and Osprey for the world of Oathmark. Some very cool stuff as well. I would also point out the model at the bottom, which is the painted one. That was the sort of like test miniature that was done when the human range was just getting formulated, and that would be available as a limited edition model as part of the pre-orders. So if you want that particular model, which could be used as a champion or something like that, or a hero character for your army, then you've got that option there as well, coming up very, very soon. So yeah.
I'm going to say there are things I like and I dislike about these guys. So I like the variety. I love the fact that they've got an archer who actually has an arrow knock to his bow. I think it's one of my pet peeves is if you see someone drawing back on a bow, have they just fired or what's going on? That's really nice. The one thing I wish they wouldn't do.
Yeah, what's that?
One thing. The tabs at the feet.
The tabs at the feet?
Yeah. See those little pre-done base things? It makes them feel just a little bit army men. If those were gone, these would just be so much nicer.
I've never minded tabs at the feet like that.
No.
I always think that actually helps base things a lot more easily. And it's easily enough.
I will point out.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I will point out just that archer for a second. His arrow is on the wrong side of his bow. But anyway, we'll glaze
You're right,
over.
yeah. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second.
No, it's going over the...
No, that's fine, that's fine.
Is it fine? I thought that was the wrong way to fire an arrow. You had to be on the inside, otherwise it dragged over your arm as you fired it.
Sorry, I'm going back through my muscle memory from when I did archery.
Yeah, maybe...
No, that's fine.
Are you sure? Okay. Something about me says that's wrong, but I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me if I am wrong, but there we go.
Maybe depends on the form of archery. I did recurve, so maybe, if he's doing a traditional longbow, then I think he should be holding that in his right hand and drawing back with his left, but I don't know.
It's the way the arrow is placed on the outside of the bow. I think it should be on the inside, but I'm sure, as I say, this is a nit-picking exercise. I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm right or wrong. So
Yeah.
Fair enough. What's next, Ben?
So next up, we're actually looking to the world of bolt action and some World War II stuff, because the guys at Warlord Games have actually come up with a new wave of stuff for your Australian forces. So if you're looking towards getting yourself a large World War II force that's doing a little bit of island hopping, maybe fighting in East Asia and stuff like that, you've got some really nice options here. We've seen them working on a lot of the troops and the characters to begin with, but now they're moving over towards some of their larger artillery pieces. So you've got things like the Bofors AA gun, you've got 6-pound anti-tank gun in there, and there's a 2-pound light anti-tank gun. There's also a howitzer too. The other really cool thing about this release was they're also looking towards some of the slightly sort of obscure sort of allies that maybe the Allied had with them during their attacks during World War II. So, for example, you've got things like the medic team, which is supported by a lot of the indigenous population there, and then you've also got the Kachin native irregular squad, which would have been called down from the mountains to fight in Asia and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see them expanding things and looking towards not just the Australians as a whole, which, you know, are very typical sort of like of the Allies during the time, but also looking towards some of the other forces that were fighting during the period and helping out against the Axis during the World War II and stuff. So yeah, some really cool stuff coming together for that, and hopefully we see a lot more of it going forward as well. So
Yeah, I just want to point one of them out here that I noticed as I was scrolling through. Not this one, this one. The guy on the gun. Tell me that doesn't look like Warren on the 6-pounder anti-tank gun at the back.
Okay, Justin, that does not look like Warren.
Okay.
it could look like him, actually. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of it there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could see that.
Uh,
Warren's actually a time traveler.
I don't know. He's not making a dick joke yet.
Oh!
He's not making a dick joke, so I can't see Warren there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting bit of history for me, because I know very little about World War II, but I know even less about the Australians and their role in World War II. So I'm interested to see how many people pick them up as an army.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, me, myself, I don't know much about the Australians themselves, but I mean, I'm sure there's people out there on the website. Recon, I'm looking at you, mate. You want to give him an education?
Oriskany.
The big
No,
thing about
Recon, because he actually lives down under.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, go on.
I was going to say the big thing about it actually is that I think it's interesting to see this other side of the war that maybe we don't really know about, and it's nice to see not just like community getting involved with this and talking about these different sides to the war, but also companies like Warlord producing like their campaign supplements and stuff like that, and giving us ways to play into it and also learn at the same time, because I think it's important that we try and preserve a lot of this stuff that we learned about the war and stuff. So very cool indeed. Hopefully we see a lot of companies starting to do this towards I'd love to see more doing it towards World War One as well. I'd like to see a lot more stuff done on World War One in campaign supplements and maybe plastic kits and that kind of thing. I know it's not really as popular as World War Two, because you've got the whole sort of Hollywood side to everything there, but yeah, it'd be nice to see some more stuff done on the Great War, as they call it. So
well, it's one thing you'll find people will know about the history of their native nation during the war more than other nations. I mean, like, we all know about the Normandy landings, the push through to Berlin. What a lot of younger folks out there don't realise is our side of the war, the British and the American, we were the sideshow. The big push was in the east.
Yeah, people don't realise that. Well, no, people of course realise. But you kind of forget that it was a world war. Yeah. This was a global conflict. Yeah,
and technically Russia won. Because they took Berlin. They took the prize.
My World War knowledge begins and ends with the post-war German politics. So
I see.
Okay.
I assume you had to study the literature?
No, this was just A-level history.
I see.
Yeah, A-level history for me as well.
I passed. I remember passing one of my exams on the Munich Putsch because I needed one more point, and I kind of got that because I could remember the date of the Munich Putsch because I just watched Full Metal Alchemist: Conqueror of Shambhala. So there's my weeaboo moment.
Anime saves the day. Yeah. Hooray!
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Now, from the history, we've got the far future with some new stuff happening in Deadzone. Ben, what can you tell us about this?
Cool. So Deadzone's getting itself a new campaign supplement and additional stuff with Outbreak. And this actually introduces a new faction into this, which is called Mazon Labs. Now, Mazon Labs are effectively the umbrella corporation of the Deadzone world. So if you like the idea of playing as horrible scientists who are using the plague against their enemies, this is the kind of faction you want to go for. So they're going to be getting a whole bunch of new models coming out soon. But the other big thing about this is that if you've played Star Saga, you actually have a faction and a whole bunch of models in that box that you can use in Deadzone. So there's a nice little bit of cross compatibility between the two here. But yeah, they've talked about it in a couple of previews, showing off some of the characters. Like you've got Dr. Lucas Croyer, you've got Guard Commander Graves as well. You've got the security guards that are sort of marching around the facilities and trying to keep everything in check. And then of course you've got some of the big huge plague beasts that you can now bring into your faction to use against your enemies. Sort of like test subjects, I guess you'd say. Another thing I want to point out as well in that news story is we actually featured a battle report there from a YouTube channel called Weight of Fire, where they actually go through using this faction on the tabletop. So if you're interested in looking at sort of how they play, there's an option for you there as well, which I thought was very cool. But it's nice to see them expanding on Deadzone, getting a little bit more in depth with the skirmish side of things here as well, and exploring the world of Warpath in some new and different ways as well. So yeah, very cool indeed. Nice stuff from Mantic.
Just to quickly remind everybody, one of the prizes we're giving away is actually a Kickstarter copy of Star Saga.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
you might be getting something to work with this, yeah? Yeah,
keep an eye at end of the show. Don't forget. Don't be running on. Now, I'm really interested in this new faction, actually. I don't know, there's something about playing that sort of shadowy organization that appeals. And seeing the model for Dr. Lucas Coiner, can you bring them up there, Justin?
Oh, yeah, sure. I assume this is the guy up the top.
I believe it's the guy at the top with the mechanical arms.
Yeah.
And the bionic work.
I love that model. That is just a brilliant character piece. I could even imagine him getting converted by some people to use as a tech priest for Warhammer.
Yeah,
maybe.
You can easily do that. Yeah.
If you put more red on him, obviously. But
yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, you can't have a tech priest choosing a different color.
No. The wardrobe consists of red, and rusty red.
Pretty much red and metal pieces accessories.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So he has a bits box.
Yeah. So very cool stuff happening there. Have you played Deadzone much?
I've played bits and pieces of it, different iterations. I got a game in with Ronnie years ago now. It's a very tight tactical game where I remember one of the games I played against Warren. He was cheesy as hell. No. He grabbed blue tack.
What?
Yeah, he grabbed blue tack and he blue tacked his miniature on top of a wall, saying, "Now I'm on top of the wall. I can see you and I can shoot you." If it don't sit on its own, you can't play it that way. I am sorry, but I do not like games like that.
Wait, I don't think there is anywhere in the Deadzone rulebook that says you can use blue tack as a gaming aid.
It must fit and stand in a position.
So I think Warren might have been...
he was hunting for cheese that day.
Yeah, bending the rules a bit there.
Bending them.
Okay. Anyways, staying in the future for our last news segment, we have some exciting news for Star Wars Legion.
Yeah,
Ben, tell us about the unlimited power.
Do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
Yes. So yes, this is a couple of new expansions that are coming out for Star Wars Legion towards the end of this year, so fourth quarter. We have some new stuff for the Galactic Empire in the shape of Emperor Palpatine himself. Now you would have thought, wait a second, what's the Emperor doing on the battlefield? But remember, this is an alternate world where you can play out all your fantasies and all kind of things like that. So use him in all your scenarios and see how it all comes together. But yes, Emperor Palpatine is coming to the tabletop. He gets all the expansion content that you need for him. So you've got loads of cards and all that kind of thing, loads of accessories and all those bits and bobs that you need to play him. He's very, very slow on the tabletop, as you might imagine for an old guy. But he also has incredible power. Unlimited power, you might say, as was teased at the start of this, where you can use his Force Lightning to absolutely rack both single characters and also units as well. As well as the Emperor, so you've got Emperor Palpatine on the side there, we've also got a unit expansion with the Royal Guard. Now, these are the guys you would have seen in the throne room and stuff throughout the Star Wars movies. And these guys are your close combat specialists. They come with their force pikes, but they've also got an electro staff as well for a little bit of hard-hitting melee combat. They also carry very, very low-range pistols too. And these are used effectively as your kind of control of objectives on the tabletop. So there's particular objectives that are in close confined spaces. You want to get your Royal Guard in there, protecting those, so that when units come very, very close to try and claim it from you, you can leap out and smash them to pieces with your force pikes. So yeah, it's been very interesting seeing how these are coming together. Looking at this sort of wide breadth of characters that they can bring down to the tabletop. So it's not just all the guys that you've seen playing in the battles in the movies, but it's also some of the side characters that were maybe taking part in the sort of more narrative aspect of things now being used in a more sort of like sandbox style in the game of Star Wars Legion. So as Jerry said in one of the comments about this, he can't wait for the Admiral Akbar expansion, which will come as him as a character. I'm sure there will. But so yeah, it's been very, very cool seeing this come together. And of course, it's nice to have just more options for playing your games on the tabletop. So of course, we've seen in the past things like Darth Vader and that kind of thing. We've got Boba Fett coming out very soon as well. So yeah, nice to see what they're doing, and it'll be good to see where they go next with what they're doing for Star Wars Legion. Hopefully we'll see them looking towards the prequels quite soon. That could be very cool. So yeah, very nice.
Right. First thing to say.
Yeah.
This is 2 wound infantry.
Yeah.
That is horrendous.
Yeah.
That those guys are going to be hard as hell to shift. Now they're defending on a red die, which is the better of the two. So yeah, these guys are hard as nails. They've got red-black for their melee attack, black-black for their ranged attack. Some nice special rules. And looking at Emperor Palpatine, I am very curious to see what the upgrades are, because it looks like he can take 3 force powers with him and something else. That and his attack is a range 1 to 2, so I'm guessing that's the lightning hands.
Yeah.
It's 2 of each color dice. That's going to hurt with Pierce 2.
Now,
Oh yes.
now Ben.
5 wounds though.
Yeah.
He's a little soft.
Well, he's an old guy. You know?
Yeah.
But as he said, unlimited power. So maybe a bit of a glass cannon happening with him.
Yeah, maybe.
But now, when you mention Palpatine, what's he doing on the battlefield? Did either of you ever play the old PS2 Star Wars Battlefront games?
No.
I did, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could play as Palpatine.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah, and that was so much fun, actually, running around as Palpatine, because he would just leap forward in that death twirl he did from the prequel movies.
Yeah.
Well, was this video game out before or after the prequels?
This was around about the same time.
Okay.
Same time as
I'm wondering which one was
Battlefront's
the...
amazing. It's a fantastic. Those are fantastic games. Those were.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just imagine Emperor Palpatine sitting on the desk guard going, "You know what? I'm going to go for a walk. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. There's a battle. No, I'm going to watch this. No one can touch me. Yes, this is good. Yeah."
Okay, so your imagination of Emperor Palpatine.
It's a little too posh, I know.
No, he's just.
He's a doddering old man.
Yeah, you make him sound like a retired English country gent.
I'm going for milk. Come along, guards. I'm going for milk.
Someone remember to feed the cat.
That's a new narrative scenario for Star Wars.
Come along,
right
Pushkins.
there.
Yes. I Jerry.
Rescue the Emperor's cat.
Yeah, I know you're watching. Please bring us the Emperor's cat model with a little Darth Vader helmet on it. You know.
I just have jackboots on Whitehall stuck in my head. Winston Churchill's cat.
Wait, what? Jackboots on Whitehall? What's this?
Right. Think Team America, World Police, set in World War II.
Okay.
With a complete piss take of the history, with the Germans basically having drill tanks to actually invade England. So they stick a big drill onto I think it's a Panzer III, and they drill up into Trafalgar Square, and then the Germans have invaded England without having to land.
Sounds like a viable tactic to me.
Well, it's funny as hell, because it's one of the most beautiful speeches. So Winston Churchill's historical speech, never before in the course of human history has so much been buggered up by so few.
Okay.
Oh, it was hilarious. It had me in tears laughing at it. Then they retreat to Scotland.
They retreat to Scotland.
Yes, to Hadrian's Wall. To fight the Nazis.
From behind Hadrian's Wall. Have you ever been to Hadrian's Wall?
No, I haven't.
Most of it's like 1 foot tall in places.
Well, they take some serious artistic liberty in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, this movie's now hurt my brain, but I can't.
No. If you are having a bad movie night ever again, Sam, we're going to sit down and watch that.
Oh, I love bad movie nights.
There's one for you. Everybody, list below. Best top 5 bad movies to watch in a single night.
I'm actually interested to see what people call it. There's going to be.
I'm going to have to think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of Plan 9 from Outer Space recommendations there, and of course The Room
or Twins Effect.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let you guys come up with those.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I got the chance to sit down with the guys from Archon Studios, who were here to talk about. Well, they were here. We Skyped them in to chat about their they're bringing back Vanguard of War.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and there are some really cool updates for it with this new
Many
Kickstarter,
changes, I wonder.
including heroes versus zombies.
Oh, I love a good zombie mode.
Hello, everyone. I am joined this week by Dave Ketch from Archon Studios, who's here to tell us about Vanguards of War. Dave, thanks for coming on board.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So, before we get started, mate, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what it is you do at Archon Studios?
Yes, well, as already pointed out, I'm Dave Ketch. I am the production manager for the re-release of Vanguard of War. I've been working for Archon Studios now for about half a year now.
Okay. What is Vanguard of War? What is going on in this game? Because actually, this is my first time coming across it.
Okay. Well, Vanguard of War is a very sort of gothic steampunk setting in a sort of fantasy world where you have hordes of demons coming at you in this city known as the Whispers, and you're charged with trying to protect the church. Inside the church, you have some priests working on a demonic weapon, which we're trying to figure out how it works and how to use it so that they can use it against the demons and send them back to where they came from, essentially. But you'll have waves and waves of them coming at you, very much like a tower defense game, and you've got to do everything you can with your heroes and all of your abilities to slow them down and to protect the church.
Excellent. So, how does that tower defense play out on the tabletop? What is the gameplay like?
Well, what you've got is you have 4 spawn points around the board, and you have waves of enemies coming from each one. They spawn in different amounts each turn, also with different minions that come with them, so they can increase their speed, their attack, or their defense. And what you do is you have heroes, it can be up to 6 players, and you send out your heroes from the church, go around basically trying to kill as many as you can, stopping their waves. You can get some heroes to stand in the way within these particular lanes that they come through. You can block them, or you can just generally mash them and heal your other heroes.
Wonderful. So plenty of character interplay going on there. Lots of tactics you can draw upon.
Oh yes, lots of synergies that you can use between characters as well, and we try and focus on the actual players deciding like their own tactics. There's no particular move turn for which heroes. You don't say like, oh, this hero goes first, then this one, and this one. The players will decide on a turn-by-turn basis who goes first, trying to sort of have a good team dynamic to get everybody working in perfect synergy.
Excellent. Now, the models of this game are beautiful. Unfortunately, I can't bring up the Kickstarter on my own screen, so hopefully, editors, do your magic. But I do have a whole load of concepts I can show here. I know I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but I want to show off some of them. Look at these.
Okay.
They're just beautiful model renders going on. I love this guy with the flaming sword in particular.
So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't see that from here, but the flaming swords are, you can't go wrong with a flaming sword.
No, you can never go wrong with a flaming sword. Anyway. Okay, so, what is new in this campaign? Because this isn't Vanguard of War's first outing. What is new, and what is this heroes versus zombies that is coming alongside it?
Well, what we decided to do is we wanted to change up the gameplay a little bit, mix it up a bit. So we had a production meeting, we were sitting down and we were saying, yeah, we kind of like games that are more like Plants vs. Zombies. You know, we've got them coming in a straight line at you, and you've got to protect your house from them. So we thought, let's get zombies in, because everyone loves zombies these days. I mean, I love zombies, but I wanted to try and get a different type of zombie in. The zombies that we based Vanguard of War zombies on were more of like the Haitian type. We've got like a witch doctor who will actually summon massive amounts of zombies, and they're the one who's in control, which sort of goes very much along with the gameplay of Vanguard of War. You have your main overlord, and they send waves and waves of monsters at you. So we wanted to try and have this straight line of just zombies coming at you, and the task we had was adapting the Plants vs. Zombies style into the Vanguard of War style. So we came up with some extra little concepts which helped to really adapt it and change it so that it worked more smoothly.
Yeah. Again, I'm going through some of the zombie images I've got here. They're very interesting interpretations. Some of them are quite disturbing and disgusting.
Oh yes. We really wanted to, because a lot of the demons that we've had have had really sort of twisted, nasty, grotesque look to them. We wanted that to come across in the zombies as well. So we've got your zombie runners, and they've got like this split arm down here, so they can grab at you with like 4 appendages at once. They're going to be just pelting at you with their robot legs. You've got your spitters, who've got like the big sort of bile in their stomach, and they just vomit up at you and shooting. And then you've got your slammers with their big arms, and they're just clubbing at you because, you know, to make up for their little non-functioning arm. So we wanted to make them look a little bit more distinct than your usual sort of human-type zombies.
And it does definitely fit in well with the general vibe and aesthetic of the game. It's a very eye-catching game. So, what else is coming in this Kickstarter? What add-ons are coming?
Well, we've got a lot more abominations and some more overlords coming. We've got some very cool-looking ones. We're going to be going into a little bit of Egyptian mythology. We're going into some H.P. Lovecraft. We're going to have some original designs as well, and some sort of more sci-fi, sort of leaning towards that sort of a genre as well. So some cool stuff coming along.
You mentioned Egyptian mythology. I'm looking at this guy, this Anubis-looking character, the cyborg crocodile. I absolutely love this. And I just spotted Cthulhu! Cthulhu for jargon! Everyone loves Cthulhu.
He's very big at the minute, isn't he? Well, he's just very big in general.
Yeah, well, he's just big boned. He's just big boned.
They give him a complex about it. Oh, just big boned.
What is Cthulhu doing in this game?
Just generally wreaking havoc. The reason we wanted to have him in it is because, you've got Cthulhu for a start, but he's also going to be moving into a couple of our future projects that we're going to be doing. So it's a little teaser for that.
Fascinating. I'm always happy to see more Lovecraftian horror in my games. It's something I particularly like. Now, there are a few new game modes as well, particularly Hellmaster. What can you tell us about Hellmaster?
Well, previously in Vanguard of War, you'd be playing as a hero defending the church, and you know it's all very cool and nice and stuff to be the good guy. But I thought we have such a fantastic array of just beautiful looking models, like heroes and monsters. Like personally, I prefer the look of the monsters. They're just lovely and twisted and nasty. And we were kind of thinking, what if we could get the player to then play as the demons and play as them and take control of that and go against each other? Because Vanguard of War is predominantly co-op play. But with Hellmaster mode, one player will get the chance to be the Hellmaster, where they take control of the AI, and they essentially become the demons, and they will be responsible for spawning wave after wave, and have some nice little extra abilities they can do, and some horrible little tricks they can play on their friends. So hopefully they'll make the game a lot harder, and make it nice for people to play bad guys for once. That's something that has immediately grasped my interest for this game. I love playing as the monster side. Did you ever... More fun to be the bad guy. Yeah, it is the most fun, and it just turns the whole game on its head in terms of the experience. Well, we're hoping it will add that level of replayability where you'll play one game on one game night, and then the next one you'll say, oh, I want to be the Hellmaster now. I want to be this guy. I want to be the bad guy that you're all coming after. So you'll say, okay, well, we'll play again next week or tomorrow. So we wanted to make it so people keep coming back for new surprises. And Well, the problem with me playing that game is I wouldn't ever let anyone else be the Hellmaster. that just sounds like too much fun. Yeah. I mean, we wanted to try and make it as fun as possible for the Hellmaster, because before you'd have the AI doing everything. So if you've played before, you get to see how that functions. But then we've added a couple of extra little tricks, like you can now upgrade your abominations when they come at you from killing heroes. You can use darkness cards as well on a whim, and you can select really where your abominations are coming from as far as a spawn point. So you have a little bit more leeway to say, okay, they're a little bit less defended on this side, so I'm going to send something at them from here and try and catch them off guard. So it's really going to keep everybody thinking a lot more, rather than the usual sort of, okay, this is the standard. You get a feel for the rhythm of the AI in the standard game, whereas this hopefully will keep everyone on their toes.
Now, there's something in this called the early wave call. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the early wave call, that is extra little hero that we've got from an up-and-coming game. It's Call of the Void. This is one of those future projects I mentioned that's going to be featuring Cthulhu. Now, this is an interesting little thing. The best way to describe it would be H.P. Lovecraft meets Event Horizon.
Oh.
Imagine that. So yeah, deep space exploration team. And they're just coming across this void in space of insanity, and see how the player sort of deals with that, with the particular missions they've got to carry out, whilst going a little bit crazy at the same time.
So does this bring a sort of sanity aspect into the game as well? Are we seeing the race for San Zero in Vanguard of War?
Yeah, that's an aspect, mechanic or mechanism, I should say, that we're implementing into it, this sanity meter essentially, and different parts of the brain will be affected depending on what happens to you, and this will affect different aspects of your play. Like one of your cortexes could be just absolutely rendered pointless, and so you just feel like you can't walk or something.
Okay, that's gonna throw some interesting spanners in the works.
And it's very much like kind of like hidden agendas, where your opponent, or not your opponents, but the people you're playing with, they don't necessarily know if you're insane or not, or what aspects of your sanity are being questioned. So you're all sort of playing with, but kind of almost against each other as well at certain times.
Ooh, hidden agendas are one of my favourite mechanics in games. They make everything so much more tense.
They do, like not knowing what everyone's doing, and just the paranoia just builds and builds with it.
Okay, now before I let you go, where can people go to find out more about this campaign as it's coming up?
People can go and find out about our campaign on our Kickstarter. Just look for Vanguard of War. They can go onto our website, archonstudios.com. They can just do a simple Google search for us, find us anywhere in the world. They can also find us on Facebook, and do we have Twitter?
Instagram.
We have an Instagram. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you, helpful voice from the background.
Yes, that is that's our guy there, Mihao, who's slowly putting his clothes back on.
Oh, well, I think that's a very good point to finish this interview.
Great.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much for coming on board for this.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about Vanguard of War, be sure to head over to the Kickstarter. Head down into the comments below and let us know your thoughts on this. Is it a game that appeals to you? Do you like the sound of the zombies, or possibly the Cthulhu aspects? I don't know. What appeals to you most? This was my first time coming across Vanguard of War, and after chatting with Dave there, I'm really interested to see more. I love the idea of playing out a tower defense game like that.
Yeah, but it's hero tower defense, which is very, very different. So instead of just placing towers and running it through the maze of it, it's actually working together with the heroes to clear out your zone of the board, to then maybe jump in and help someone else in their zone of the board, and sort of cross-catching each other to get the synergies running. I remember getting a playthrough of this. It was a lot of fun to play, and I'm really excited to see them return to it.
Yeah. Well, the one I'm most excited to play was, I believe we talked about the Hellmaster form, where you get to play as the demons. That I want to do. Again, I'm going to bring up a video game here. Did either of you ever play Zombies U? It was on the Wii U and then got released.
No, I never played that.
Why would I ever want a Wii U?
It was a fun console.
No,
I didn't have one. I played
serious.
it around my friends, but the multiplayer had this great thing where one of you got to place the zombies on the map. You had the pad in front of you. You got to just place zombie spawn points.
Oh,
That's very cool.
Other guy had to
Interesting
see
mechanic.
they had to see how long they could survive, and that was it got a little repetitive after a while, but
Yeah.
just that idea was so much fun.
See, I always love my zombie survival games, but I don't think anyone has made the perfect one just yet.
Yeah,
You know, it's zombie survival games. It's always the escape. You're trapped in a shopping mall. You're trying to gather the bits you need to get the local minibus running so you can get away. I'll delve into that a bit deeper in backstage, I think.
Try State of Decay, by the way, Justin.
I have played State of Decay. It's not bad, but the gameplay isn't to the right pace for me. It's
Right.
too sandbox, if that makes sense. to
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I have a particular hatred of zombies. I just loved
So why don't you enjoy games where you're killing them?
because I'm
Die,
scared
zombie!
of them. I want to run away from them. But putting me in control of the zombies was great fun because I just set traps for my friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the Kickstarters.
Mm.
Ben, what new projects are happening?
Cool. So the first one we're going to be looking at is from Lost Kingdom Miniatures, and we previewed this a couple of weeks ago, looking at some of the stuff they've been working on in artwork and renders and that kind of thing. But this is them bringing together their Lizard Man collection. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the empire because I can't say the word.
Hey, one second, go back up. I'm going to give it a try. Where is it? Let's see. Where's the name?
Quetzal, maybe?
The Quetzal Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But yes, so this is a range of not just troops, but also characters, monsters, and all sorts of different things that you can use for building up a large Lizardman force for you to use in any of your fantasy games that you might be playing. So this could be the likes of Ninth Age, maybe you're still playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle, maybe you want to use these for Kings of War or something like that as well. This is a huge range, and Lost Kingdom are doing some absolutely exquisite sculpts. Most of the stuff you're seeing here is render work, but they have done projects in the past where they've done things like Chaos Swords and that kind of things as well. And the models that have come out of that in their resins are absolutely spectacular. So I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that this is going to be another big, huge hit for them. They've had Angel Heraldis come on board and paint some of their models, which I thought was very, very cool as well. One of the other big things about this that really drew me to this range is the fact that they've not only just done the models as you see them with their standard basing and all that kind of thing and sort of your rank and file, but a lot of their stuff actually comes with sculpted options to their bases as well, which I thought was a really nice thing. Now, I've talked about this before and I said that I don't really like the idea of sculpted basing, but I think that what we're seeing here, with the kind of unique look you get to each of the figures to give them their more dynamic like feel to them, I think it actually works in their favor this time around, and I'm more like on board with what they're doing here. But yeah, if you like the idea of collecting together a large, huge Lizardman force, then you've got options here from Lost Kingdom Miniatures. So yeah, very cool.
I am loving the fact that they're using different lizard species.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing like a mix of chameleons and other reptiles in there, which is so cool to see. It's so individualized.
Well, I've said before, Lizardmen were my first love in gaming. I had I started off with one of the old fourth edition Lizardmen armies from Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and seeing these models, nearly all of them I can see parallels with the Warhammer Fantasy Battles models, of course. Oh, hello. Yes. I am in love with this force. This has taken something I loved already and has just turned the volume up to 11 for all of the sculpts.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. Oh, the Temple Guard. Sorry, Coatl Guard. I think I'm going to be doing that a lot here.
Vanguard Command Squad?
Yeah.
Or Command Group?
Yeah, these are...
Oh,
I love these.
the magical effect on that is really well done.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That guy...
Pulling
That's
bits out of a gun. Wow.
Yeah, sorry, Ben. There's
That's
just
right.
a...
Yeah, I know you are very happy, of course, Sam. But yeah, one of the big things about that I've talked about before when it comes to Lizardmen as a force that you might want to collect is that you're not looking at painting up an army that is grim and dark and covered in blood and mud and everything like that. These guys are going to look bright and vibrant and give you a real chance to explore things like airbrushes and blending and all that kind of thing as well. So if you like that kind of aspect of things, then a project like this might be something you might want to get stuck into, even if it's just a couple of the characters, for example. So.
Yeah, the thing that always drew me to the Lizardmen was the sheer variety that you got in those armies. And this, as I said, just takes that even further. I love the look of those sculpts.
Well, important note, the guys are fully funded. They are now breaking through stretch goals. And I'm actually going to kind of disagree with Ben on this one. I think if you painted these guys up grim and dark, really muted colours, and just blood and mud everywhere, they could look terrifying.
No, I'd have to go as vibrant as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of vibrance in the color scheme, then clashed with like maybe some blood effects on their weapons or across their paws or something, would be a really nice contrast between the two potentially. So
yeah, definitely.
That if the chameleons have an invisibility skill, you can just put an empty base down. Perfectly paint it. Perfectly paint it.
Well, that's something I did do for Frodo when he's got the ring on. I just put down the base. There he is. Okay.
I've actually seen someone do that with a Tau stealth suit. They just put the imprint of the 2 feet into like some basing material.
Put it on eBay?
No, they put it into a painting contest.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, yes, I saw that one.
Yeah, remember it?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was clever as hell.
Okay. From Lizardmen to another fantasy staple, ogres. Ben, can you tell us about what's happening with Atlantis Miniatures?
Cool, yeah, so this is Atlantis Miniatures, who are back on Kickstarter with their Ogre collection. Now, this is a collection of, again, another huge fantasy army for you to collect, or maybe you just want to get individual figures. They're all scaled to 28mm, but each of the figures themselves stands between 45mm and 55mm in size, so they're pretty hefty big miniatures, these ones. They're all done in resin, as you might imagine, for the guys at Atlantis Miniatures. They've done some stuff in the past, again, we're looking at orcs and goblins and dwarves as well. I actually have some of their dwarves, surprise, surprise, and they're very, very nice, very, very finely detailed. So if you're worried about the idea of these maybe not coming up to scratch when you come to see the final product, I can assure you that they have done some really nice work in the past, so that's something that you can take into account there. But yes, they've got a couple of different options for you to pick up. You can either get your hands on just the one set, which comes with a whole bunch of the male ogres and a leader for that unit as well, or you can start to expand things a little bit and take the larger set, which comes with not just the male ogres but also the female ogres, some of their leaders riding on the back of some monsters as well, and I believe there's some of their stretch goals and add-ons in there too, so you've got things like the Yoga Shaman and things like that going on in the background. The other thing they've also done is they've done sort of like a build your own pledge option, so if you're particularly interested in just one or two of the miniatures or a particular character or something like that, you can just choose to pledge for just one of those if you want to and try and pick that up, just if you're a hobbyist who's looking for something interesting to paint. When it comes to ogres as an entity on the tabletop, once again, they give you a very broad canvas, quite literally, for you to paint your work onto. So if you're interested in working on things like tattoo patterning and stuff like that, working on really weathered leathers and furs and stuff, you've got some really nice options there. It really allows you to get really stuck into the details for facial details and stuff like that as well. So if you like the idea of pulling those to the fore, you've got those options too. I like the idea of doing them maybe a little bit differently than normal. So instead of going for sort of like a flesh look, going for maybe like a blue or a green, and doing it as almost like a muted color. So they're sort of like drawn from like a very high fantasy background potentially, and then go for like war paint on them, so in like bright stark white or black could be very interesting as well. So yeah, if you're interested in the idea of making yourself an ogre army for all those fantasy games out there, you've got some nice options for yourself to get stuck into here as well. So
I'm really interested in those painting ideas you came up with, Ben. I think we may have to see about getting you an ogre model of some description to see what you'll do with it.
Well, it's an interesting one because I did a kind of theme that was similar to this with Trollbloods, where I was going with a very bright green. They all tended to look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it was very fun seeing it all to come together. But I think I sort of toned it down a little bit for this range potentially, so that it sort of fitted into that slightly more grim sort of fantasy feeling that I'd want to get out of these, especially with all the sort of like torn leather and furs and skulls and all that kind of thing as well. But yeah, there's some amazing characters in there as well, as I think you'll agree. But yeah, very cool stuff from Atlantis.
I do like the design aspect of these, where they've went for a very muscular styled ogre. I mean, like if you speak to someone who's played, say, Warhammer Fantasy, and you say ogre, what do you think?
Well, I think about the original lantern-jawed ones that kind of look like Popeye on steroids.
No, see, I always think of the ones with the huge
ones.
belly, the iron gut ones.
Yeah. Well, that was when they were reimagined, when they made a whole army. But for me, I came in when they were those the ones you found in Blood Bowl at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I do know what you mean. I do tend to think about the big fat boys.
I'm loving that sort of noble savage look that these have to them. It just works really well.
It is very cool.
Okay. One last Kickstarter here.
All right.
Yeah, Cthulhu Death May Die. Now, I added this one in right at the end, just as we were about to go forth, because Well, it's one I've been very excited for a while. Yeah. Ben, can you give us a brief overview here?
Yeah, sure. So this is Cthulhu Death May Die. This is by Simon. It's designed by Rob Davio, which is a massive name in the board game world, and of course Eric Lang. So I'm sure Justin's on board for playing one of these games. It works as a cooperative game for between 1 to 5 players, and you are playing as cultists who are summoning one of the Elder Gods, and you have to try. Well, you're trying to stop the cultists who are disrupting, who are putting together a ritual. So you're going to be playing as the investigators who are going in there to try and stop the cultists from getting these things together and summoning these horrible beasts to the tabletop. So yeah, it's a game that, once again, when it comes to Simon, features a whole bunch of incredible, interesting miniatures. So if you like the idea of your massive miniatures, you've certainly got something to look at there. Also got really nicely, finely detailed heroes and everything like that. So yeah, if you like the idea of Cthulhu and that kind of thing with a little bit of a twist, then there's some really nice options for you to get stuck into here with this game from Simon. So
yeah. Now, yes,
I don't know what it is about Eric Lang games. I've said it before. Eric, I love your work, mate. You do gorgeous stuff. I just cannot win your games. Whatever way you work out your mathematics just does not gel with my brain.
No. As Ben noted, the miniatures for this game are fantastic. There are some really cool interpretations of classic Lovecraftian monsters, including 2 of the great old ones themselves, Cthulhu and Hastur, the King in Yellow. I think they're the main 2. Actually, there is one particular model I wanted to bring up, and I put the link into the article we wrote on it.
Well, this?
Yeah, if you go down, this is a Kickstarter exclusive add-on of Cthulhu.
Ah, I see.
And if you want to see just how big it is, if you scroll down a little further...
What?
Yeah!
That is no longer a miniature, that is now officially a bigature.
A bigature?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an official term used by Weta Workshop. No, it's an official term used by Weta Workshop.
Wow.
And probably other...
Bigature, it is now.
And probably other movie companies and companies in general out there.
Well,
holy hell! Who decides to make a Cthulhu the size of a small child?
Never mind that. Who decides to introduce their child to Cthulhu?
That kid looks like she wants to hug it.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
That or she's looking at it going, is that cake? Can I eat that?
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind hug a hoodie.
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
Hug Cthulhu. That's all he wants. Cthulhu wants a hug. Now, I do actually have one hesitation about this game. Okay. Now, if you bring up the Kickstarter, one of the important things about this, if you go up a bit...
where are we going to here?
Yeah, just go up. There you go. Those ones. Now, you see, each of your investigators at the beginning start off with a diagnosable madness. Now, in Lovecraft and Lovecraft games, we all know the race to San Zero. It can be a lot of fun. Madness is usually depicted in very... broad terms.
Yes.
Yeah. Very much the, oh no, I've lost my mind.
I'm going a bit wibbly.
Yeah. Whereas, unlike real mental health. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing that they have gone back and they are showing real mental health things. So your investigator can have OCD, mania, be psychotic. All these traits, and depending on how mad you are, you draw power from your own mental illness. Now, I'm a little iffy about this. I myself have OCD.
Yes.
So whenever I see OCD, sorry, I'm gonna be getting a little serious here, guys. When I see OCD or even any other mental illness depicted in a pop culture setting. If we especially go here, you'll see that he's just the guy very carefully counting his pens.
Yeah, and you can really see the stress levels coming through on the face there. Same for the other characters.
That's not my problem here. Yes, that is OCD, but that is a form of OCD, and because that is the only version of OCD people see, people develop OCD and then think they don't know what they have. But my major problem here is that by going more mad, you are gaining more power, so you're getting a positive from the mental illness. I can tell you, OCD has never been a positive in my life.
See, the problem we have here is this is an abstraction for a game mechanic's sake, and I can completely understand where you're coming from, Sam, that it is a serious thing. Mental health is nothing to joke about. I'm going to say that right now and be very clear on it. But there are some times whenever you have to represent something like that within a game, and I don't know, maybe this one wasn't executed perfectly, but I can see what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to give a reference point to actually give an ability to your character. Maybe something to be looked at for a little bit of a redesign. I'm not sure what the kickback on this has been so far, the feedback has been so far, but I agree with yourself that it's maybe not the best executed way to actually do this.
It is nice to see something moving away from the whole generic
generically
thing of madness. Oh, my underpants are on my head, 2 pencils are up my nose, and I only speak a wibble. But
well, that sounds like a usual Friday night for us.
Yeah, true enough. But I don't know. It is something I'd have to see when it comes to the game itself, because I love my Lovecraftian fiction. I want to see how it goes, but something about this does rub me up the wrong way.
Yeah,
it's something that's popped up in other games, and it's been a discussion amongst board gaming and tabletop gaming for a couple of years now. Especially now we're starting to look at things in a lot more detail and trying to take other people's feelings and experiences into account when we design stuff going forward. But for example, in Time Stories, one of the first setting for that is in an asylum, and it takes very like overused tropes of what madness is and that kind of thing, and it almost stereotypes it in a way, and it gives that kind of feeling that you were talking about there, Sam, about sort of what mental illness is all about in popular culture and how it's ill perceived by other people and that kind of thing. And so I think with something like this, it has to be done with a very delicate touch. And if this comes across and it works well, then that's fine, but they've also got to take into account that it will obviously, make some people feel unsettled about this kind of thing as well. So.
I will say I'm all for exploring mental health questions in games. I think there actually needs to be more exploration, more awareness. It just needs to be done carefully.
Yeah. Well, the question I would have is, for any game developer who's actually considering putting something like this into your game, is the one question you always need to ask yourself is, are you dealing with the topic in a respectful manner? Are you going to have people sit down and look at it and not get what you're trying to put on the tabletop? And it's something to be very careful of.
Do you want to know what is actually one of the best pop culture depictions of OCD I've ever seen?
Go ahead.
That was actually in Scrubs.
Scrubs? Okay.
Yeah. Of all the things.
No, I'm not a fan of the show, I'm going to say that right now.
In Scrubs, there is a doctor who turns up with OCD, and it depicts him. He has the very stereotypical OCD. He has to do everything 3 times. He washes his hands after everything. And when it brings him in, this is not a form of OCD I have, so I can't comment too much on that. But when it brings him in, it does play all these points for laughs.
Yes.
Which is how, until this point, I was used to seeing it depicted in pop culture. I would see someone with OCD come in and depicted as quirky. Until the end of that episode, where it shows him unable to go home because he's trapped in one of his own obsessive compulsive cycles. And you actually see, oh wait, this thing I've been giggling at as quirky this whole time is actually tormenting him in some way.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, this is a weak moment. Nobody's supposed to see this. And mark my words, I'll clean up the soap. Probably several thousand times.
And it recognizes that there's elements of the mental illness that is ridiculous. And people with mental illness, we know it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we like to joke about it too. But it does also recognize, holy hell, this guy's going through hell.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's... Okay, this is me getting serious for a minute.
Yeah.
From the outside, someone without mental health issues trying to look at someone with mental health issues has no reference point. It's like trying to speak to someone in a completely different language.
Yeah.
You have no reference point to ever understand what that person's going through. So even if you do think it's quirky, it's funny, it's okay, oh, you're suffering this, that, the other, just pick yourself up. It is not like that for anybody. Each person inside their own head, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I tend to be very outspoken about my OCD because every time I bring it up, someone contacts me going, wait, this is a thing? So, yeah. Sorry to bring things down on a very serious level. It's a discussion.
It's an important thing to talk about, especially in the sense of like games and how we perceive these kind of things. So I'm glad that you talked about it, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, it is an important one, but it's not an issue we're going to be solving on the weekend.
No. It's an issue that will possibly never be solved. Just because it's the way it is.
Well, we'll see how things go moving forward. I am still very excited to see more of Death May Die. I love the models. I love the idea of the gameplay.
Yeah.
I want to see how it goes.
The designers on the game are fabulous.
Oh yeah, superb. Anyway, moving on from that, we have another interview in store for you.
Yes, this is the one that I've been looking forward to. So I'm going to sit down very quickly with James Baldwin to give everybody an update on what's happening with the Drowned Earth, the Kickstarter, the retail launch, organised play, lots of good stuff. We'll be back in a sec. Hi everybody, I've been joined by James from the Drowned Earth. James, it's good to see you, mate. How have you been?
And you? I've been really well. Super busy. Lots of stuff to talk about, lots of stuff been going on, lots of stuff in the pipeline. And we've got to come over soon. I keep on getting asked. People are always asking me, when are you going to go over and do some more battle reports on Beasts of War?
Hey, you're always welcome. It's just, reach out to Sam, try and, pin him down and say, look, this date, please.
Yep, that's it. We'll get it sorted. It's been a bit crazy over here, but that's good news, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are you finished delivering your Kickstarter, or are you delivering at the moment, or what stage is that at?
No, so we delivered, it was in March, which was actually a month earlier than advertised.
Oh, congratulations.
Probably puts me in the top 10 percentile of... but yeah, no, that's all done, and now we're in the process of getting the game into retail stores and things like that. You can already buy it on Element Games if you're based in the UK. We're talking to some people in the US about US distribution. And if anybody's interested in buying it in their local game store, just give them a shout. Ask them if they either are stocking it or plan on stocking it. That's the best way to get it where you need it to be.
Fabulous.
And you can buy it direct on our website as well.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure we have a link to your website in the post below for you. Now, I will say, going to Element Games is a great call for you guys because they actually have a beautiful gaming venue over there.
Yeah. Well, in fact, we'll talk about that in a minute because we've just had our first ever organised play event, and that's where we had it. I mean, I'm based down in London, but Manchester's slap bang in the middle of the country, so it's a really convenient location for everyone to get to.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, so Kickstarter landed a month early. Fantastic. You're hitting retail very soon. Fantastic. What about the future of the game? Because now it's out there in the wild and it's going to start living and breathing on its own.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of new model releases, not just for the cool toys, but for the new rules. So we've been working quite hard on two different things, but the first of those two things are a series of new models for each of the existing factions. So I think you guys have published some of the couple of the renders and some of the concept art for the Q3 of 2018 releases. There'll be five releases for the 5 new factions, effectively, and a new dino as well.
Yeah.
So that just gives people a little bit of more list building opportunity, and we're going to proceed with that, in the manner that you'd expect from a miniatures company. We're going to be developing lots of new miniatures, new rules, and new sort of tactics and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, you actually have sent me through a 3D render here that if you want I can bring up. Ooh, who is this?
Yeah, so this is Le Casque. I think this is a world exclusive. Nobody's you published the concept art a little while ago, but nobody's actually seen the render. So his shtick is, as well as being a bit of an expert samurai sword dude, he's got a big cannon which fires blind grenades and it's fairly long range and fairly accurate. So when you've got a sniper in a crow's nest somewhere, he's your man to sort of pop a flash grenade in that guy's direction, blind him while you run across the board and claim the objective that he was covering, that sort of thing.
I see, and if I remember correctly from the games that we've actually played, the actual gameplay is so fluid. Having someone that can actually lock down or open up an area of the board is absolutely critical to actually achieving your objectives and actually winning the game.
As reactions are such a thing, so it isn't an infinite reaction game, but you can move action points. Your leader can move action points around, and so if you get a sniper in a useful location and then just feed them action points, that can really lock the game down. So tools to try and prevent that from happening and to overcome that situation if you find yourself in it is really key.
Yeah. Now, I will say to everybody at home, if this is your first time meeting James and actually hearing about the Drowned Earth, we do have a fabulous Let's Play on the website. Make sure and go back and check it out, because this is a really, really fun game to play. Now, speaking of playing the game, James, you say you've done an organised play event at Element Games. So how did that go?
Indeed. Yeah, well, that went really, really well. I was super, super happy with the feedback. And so I decided what I wanted to do with organised play was something a little bit different, release a tournament pack every year with a whole bunch of custom scenarios, but effectively a narrative tournament. So although the focus is on deciding, who was the best player that day, all of the games are linked by fluff. And then at the end of the tournament, in the last game, every player who won their last game gets to make a kind of narrative choice. So there's a thing called a winner's envelope. So you pop open the winner's envelope and you've got a little multiple choice, choose your own adventure style conclusion to the story. And what we're going to do with that is that at the end of the cycle, probably be a year, we'll see how it goes. At the end of the cycle, that will inform tournament event. So we'll have a beginning season and an end of season organised play, and then people will be able to play their own tournaments in the meantime using the tournament pack. But the decision that people make on the winner's envelope, we're going to record it on both what happens in the story, but it will also feed back into the rules. It'll feed back into model releases. So we really want to create this kind of evolving story and evolving kind of meta plot for the game, which the players are directly invested in and directly involved in steering.
Now, I'm having a look at some of the actual tables here. The density of the game is absolutely great, and I'm loving what you've done with all the different walkways and actual different ways to actually get to different areas on the board. It's very, very cool. And you're using one of my favorite modeling sort of terrain pieces, which is aquarium tank foliage.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep, every time I go on Amazon, they're constantly, their algorithms think that I've opened a pet shop, I think. But yeah, they're just a fantastic way of creating a lot of colourful, jungle atmosphere. So they were an absolute must. But we were lucky that some of the players came along with their own terrain. So we had a wide variety of different boards. And I think you can see on most of them, we've been talking to Deep Cut Studios, and they've made us a custom mat, which is currently on pre-order. And we were lucky enough to get a handful of those so that we could actually use them for the event. So that was also really fun and exciting. And if you remember the way the game plays, there's a lot of dynamic movement and swimming and running up walls and jumping off things, and so that sort of terrain density is really a really fun aspect of the game. And there are so many different sort of out of the box solutions for that nowadays, from MDF terrain to people that are making sort of molded plastic terrain. And you can see we've made a wide variety of different boards.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I absolutely love the creativity aspect that brings to your game. Is you can build a super dense table but not have it feel like it's hard to play through, because all of the mechanics are built into the game to actually work through, doing like climbing, swimming, jumping off the heights to actually stab someone in the throat, which is always a good time in a can.
It's, I think, one of the comments that I've had from people who are first to the game is one of the fun but also mind-boggling aspects is how much you have to think in 3 dimensions.
Well, I mean, like, James, what else can we really say? The game is now out there in the wild. I hope it does well. I cannot wait to get you across for another Let's Play. And well done once again on getting your Kickstarter actually delivered a month early.
Thanks very much. I'm really looking forward to coming over and seeing you guys again.
All right. Well, James, I will not keep you any longer because I'm sure you have many, many things to do to actually keep the game running and rolling. Everybody, I tell you what, get your comments in below. Are you planning to jump in on the Drowned Earth? Are you going to be reaching out to your local friendly gaming store to actually see if they'll bring it in and stock it for you? Myself and James will move on here, and we will see you again very soon. So it sounds as if things are going really well for the Drowned Earth. I am really happy about this. This is one of the most cinematic games I've played in a good while. Just having the ability to act and react within your opponent's turn, and now seeing that James is bringing out stuff to sort of counter those tropes that you would normally see. So the sniper on the rooftop, oh look, I have a smoke grenade launcher. I can now run through that area of the board that you were covering. So good. Yeah. Like I said in the interview, if you haven't seen it, go back and check out the Let's Play we did. It was great fun.
Yeah, Drowned Earth is a game I really want to learn more about. Every time I see it, it intrigues me more.
Well, expect an email from him. He's looking to get in for some more gameplay.
Yes!
So we'll maybe try and get you in for it.
Excellent.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's about it for the show, except we've got one major thing coming up. It's time for the UK Games Expo prizes.
And the winner of the Hobby Got bag.
Yeah.
Never forget the Hobby Got bag. It's super important.
And the Hobby Got bag.
All right, shall we do this as a round robin, gentlemen?
Yeah, the same as we did for the Salute ones. If you want to start us off there.
Okay, so Brambledown Designs, Porg Print. It's Chalupa?
Chalupa! Congratulations, Chalupa! Next, we had Mostly Curious Games with their Steampunk Millennium Falcon, and that is won by D. Kenty. Congratulations. Ben?
The guys at Gaslands were giving away a Gaslands rulebook, the templates and the dice for you to play with, and that was won by Burns Eye. So well done there.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next up was the UK Indie RPG League. They were giving away a PDF copy of The Spire, and that's going to Rob Saunders. Congratulations, buddy.
Then we had Oink Games with Deep Sea Adventure, a very nice little game. It was won by Katana 100s. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy the game.
Gatekeeper Games were giving away a set of the Halvesies dice, and that was won by user Fallout. So congratulations.
Lula were giving away a copy of Crime Riders, and that was won by Spiky Freak Stu. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
I love the names some of our people have.
Oh, yeah, we've got some wonderful community members. Next, we had Infamy Games, who were giving away Holmes and Sergeant Crooks miniatures. Beautiful sculpts, these. And they were won by Mark Tarver. Congratulations.
Next we had Laywaste Games, who were giving away a copy of their amazing game called Dragoon, and this was won by Ghastly13 or Ghastly13. So there we go. Well done.
Okay, the next one's a big one. It is the Fantasy Fight Ian Livingstone signed copy of Death Trap Dungeon, and that was won by Battlehawk, not Sam Poots.
No. Yeah, surprise! I was Battlehawk all along! Okay. Next, we had the Battlefront D&D accessories. And the prize for that was a Dracolich.
Yep.
And it was won by Ghost Gundam 1.
Nice name.
Well done.
War Cradle were giving away a Hex starter box, and that was won by Hairy Brains. Well done.
I love it. Next one was Warlord Games were giving away a Blood Red Skies core set. That was won by Goat Burger. That is Goat Burger.
Then we have from Lion Tower Miniatures the Kickstarter exclusive model.
Oh yes.
Again, a very nice sculpt, and it's won by Long Shotte.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
I know it's probly long shot, but it's spelt in the old-fashioned way.
Add the A on the
Add the E, so they know we're serious.
Shotty.
Long Shotte.
Long Shotte.
We also had Steamforge Games, who were giving away the Exiles Box and Muse Minis tokens, and this was won by Casarala. Well done.
Congrats. Next up, Battle Systems were giving away one of their fabulous Fantasy Dungeon terrain sets. This is won by Damn It Prawn.
Damn it, Prawn!
Damn it, Prawn!
Okay, then we had another prize from Battlefront, and that was NATO's First Line Army Deal and Free Nations book.
Ooh.
And this was won by Linux Navigator. Congratulations,
cool. Nice.
Very good prize there.
Cozy Dice, we're giving away a UK Games Expo satchel bag. So if you want something like that to remember the event, you've got this was won by Wolf320F.
Congratulations. Mantic Games were giving away a Kickstarter copy of Star Saga that was won by Max Key. That's Max K-E-E.
Yeah. If you're looking for your way to get into our earlier talk about Deadzone, there you are. And now I've lost my place.
Osprey Games.
Osprey Games, thank you. Osprey Games. They were giving away a copy of either High Society or Last Days of Zombie Apocalypse book.
Yes.
Okay, and that was won by Lord Bob.
Yep, so whenever you claim your prize, make sure to pick one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Foam are giving away a pack mini and the foam trays to go with it, and that was won by Fail Rocks. So F-A-L-E-R-O-X. Well done.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we had Devere Games giving away a copy of Gretchen's. This was won by Babone, B-A Bone. This was actually one of my favorites. It's a beautiful looking game. You'll have a lot of fun.
Then we had Gale Force 9, who were giving away their 3x3 double-sided space mat. And that was won by W. Russia.
Russia?
Well done.
Russia, or Russia. Yeah.
Russia.
Russia. These aren't spelt phonetically, okay?
We may butcher these.
Yeah.
There'll be a list below.
Yeah,
The
okay.
next one was 2 prizes from Sarissa, and this was a mansion and a ruined mansion set. So these were 2 different winners. So the winner of the mansion was Wetworks, and the winner of the ruined mansion was Space Wolf Lord. So well done.
Next up, we had some stuff from Oathsworn. So Mouse House Terrain Piece, Slave Badger Blister Pack, and Coin Accessories was won by Cyromeshi.
Cyromeshi.
Or is it Cyromeshi?
Cyromeshi.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. Okay. We're having fun with the names alone. Next we have War Banner, who are giving away the Gangs of Rome Blood on the Aventine starter box. Great way to get into a very good game.
Mm-hmm.
And this was won by Gothmog. Congratulations.
Nice.
Now we have PlayFusion, who are giving away an absolutely amazing Lightseekers Mega Bundle, and this was won by Orlando the Technicolored. Well done, Orlando.
Okay, next up we have Room 17, Museum Rush and Flicky Spaceships was won by Alex T.
Yeah. Congratulations, Alex T. We're actually going to be talking to the guys from Room 17 soon, so hopefully we'll get a game of those at some point.
Yeah.
Then we have a prize from Deep Cut Studio, who's Matt you would have seen at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving away their Falconers Guild Ball mat. The winner is the Painting Bozo.
Nice.
Well done. Next we had Themeborn, who are giving away a copy of the amazing Escape the Dark Castle that I know that you all know that we love, and Warren's taken on holiday with him, no doubt. And this was won by Neo Scream. So well done. Have fun with that one.
Okay, this one might take a second. I wonder did we actually do this round robin deliberately to give me this one?
Oh yes, we planned it all out in advance.
Okay, so this is from TT Combat. So they were giving away a Drop Zone Commander 2-player starter set, a Drop Fleet 2-player commander. I'm gonna start again. They were giving away a Drop Zone Commander 2-player starter set, a Drop Fleet 2-player starter set, a Rumble Slam 2-player starter set, Rumble Slam Back Alley Brawl, and 5 event exclusive miniatures. This was won by Wax France.
Yeah, well done, Justin. Then we have a prize from Riverhorse, who are giving away a signed copy of Tales of Equestria, and that was won by John Dorr.
Well done. Then we look towards Dragon Dawn Productions, who are giving away a copy of their hacker game called Black Hat, and this was won by Teglas, so Teglas. Well done.
Next up, we had Crooked Dice, isn't it?
Crooked Dice.
Crooked Dice, okay. They were giving away a 7TV box starter set, and the winner was Fear the Squirrels. I repeat, Fear the Squirrels.
I already do. Okay. Then we have from Black Box Adventures, Fruity Damari and Revenge of the Dictators. 2 very fun board games. And that was given to Dodgy Farmer.
Are you a Dodgy Farmer?
I am asking no questions about that name. Over to you, Ben.
Yeah, we have Thames and Consmos, who are giving away 2 of their Exit games. So this was Exit the Sunken Treasure and Exit Dead Man on the Orient Express. And this was won by Redvers, so Redvers. Well done to you. You're going to have a lot of fun with those 2.
Nice. Next up, we had Magister Militum, who were giving away a T-Rex, Triceratops, and Edmontosaurus miniatures. This was won by Fuzzy1232.
Excellent. Then we had a great miniature from Titan Forge, the Infernal Golem miniature, and that was won by Dark Spy. That's spelled DARKSPI.
Then we had Bezier Games, who were giving away a copy of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, and this was won by Stealth Buddha. So a stealthy Buddha, which is an interesting mental image there.
I am the Stealth Buddha. Nice. Next up, we had Fog of Love giving away Fog of Love. This was won by Fabint. Fabint.
Then we have Rubicon giving away some World War stuff. I'm not going to... Yeah. Okay.
Panzer Oust G Pack 40 anti-tank gun with crew and a log fence set.
Yeah, that's what I said. And the winner for that was Lornor.
Nice. Ben?
And just so you know, those were actually picked out by John, so those are some good kits.
Yeah.
Some awesome stuff there.
Nice.
We're then moving on to Wordforge Games, who are giving away a copy of Throwdown, Cheeks, and also Package, and these were won by Nixtone, so Nixtone. So well done there.
Last one for me was from Second Thunder, and they were giving away a copy of Open Combat. This was won by Skoda Marine.
Well done.
And then finally, from Game Tea, we had a £15 Game Tea voucher. And that was won by Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
I'm just going to say, the stuff at Game Tea is really awesome. And I know this sounds really weird, but if you want to go and get some of their candles, they are awesome for role-playing settings. So if you want to get some of their stuff that smells like a tavern and all that kind of thing, check those out. They're really cool.
So what, Vomit and Steel Beer candle?
Yep, that's the one.
We prefer to achieve that scent the organic way.
Now, to do a Columbo, there's just one more thing.
Just one more.
Just one more thing. The Hobby God bag winner was a very special member of the community who we've been keeping an eye on for a long time. And buddy, you really deserve it this time for the malign sorcery spells you've been painting up. Congratulations, Laughing Boy. You've won yourself a Hobby God bag. Do the jammy dance. Do it right now. Go on. Yeah, do it.
You hear that?
We picked this project out from Laughing Boy because he did some amazing stuff in the forum thread over the night when we did Hobby Night Live last week on Friday. But also, he carried it on through the rest of the weekend and painted up some absolutely amazing things. So not only is his skill great, but he did some really nice progress stuff and everything like that.
Nice.
So that's why we gave him the nod for the Hobby God bag winner as well. And if you didn't see it, he actually was the host of our unofficial Hobby Night Live, Hobby Hangout this week on Wednesday. So if you want to go and check out his little live stream that he did, then hopefully that'll be up on the site as well. So yes, huge congratulations to Laughing Boy. Absolutely fantastic stuff, and a well-deserved winner of a Hobby God bag. And I hope we get to see more of your stuff in the future as well. Yeah. Fantastic stuff, man.
Well done on stepping up to the plate there, Laughing Boy. So, wait, you guys hear that? That is the sound of jammy dancing around the world.
You see, I want to get like a Mexican wave of jammy dancing going around the planet someday.
In this heat? Considering how many people probably are wearing jammies right now, I don't want to see that.
Someday, not today.
Only in winter. Only in winter.
Late autumn.
Okay, well, that about wraps it up. Thank you very much, Justin. And thank you, Ben. And thank you, all of you. Congratulations to all our UK Games Expo winners. And remember, if you want to see more of this, of us blathering on about gaming, you can come over to tomorrow's XLBS show. If you want to sign up for a backstage membership, please do. It helps us immensely. Keeps the lights on, keeps me fed, and it means we don't have to let Justin out just yet.
Whoa, you do what to me now?
Yeah.
This wasn't in my contract.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you should have read the fine print. Okay, again, thank you all very much, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, almost forgot. Prize winners. Remember, go down below, fill out your claim prize form. Very nearly forgot that.
Yeah, one important thing. Because there are a lot of prizes in this one, we are really busy in the studio. I will work through the prizes as quickly as possible for me. I'm not going to say humanly possible because some people refute the fact that I'm human, but go figure.
Anyway, we're going to carry on here, and we hope to see you all tomorrow.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.